Let us listen to chapter 4 and 5, Origin of Visņu from Rudra Samhitā, Shiv Purana. Sut ji said, O Brahmins, when Visņu vanished, sage Nārada roamed over the earth, seeing Shivling in the various holy centers. In the course of his wanderings over the earth, he saw many forms of Shiv that confer worldly pleasures and salvation on the devotees. On knowing that Nārada of divine vision was wandering over the earth, the two attendants of Shiv approached him. They bowed to him and touched his feet. With a desire to secure release from the curse, they spoke to him respectfully. The attendants of Shiv said, O sage, please hear our words. We who formerly offended you are really not Brahmins. O sage, we, your former offenders, are the attendants of Shiv. Induced by Shiv, you had cursed us when your mind was deluded. Realizing that the occasion was inopportune, we kept quiet then. We reaped the fruit of our own action. No one is to be blamed for it. O Lord, be pleased. Bless us now. Sut ji said, on hearing the words of the attendants uttered with devotion and respect, the sage replied lovingly. Nārada said, O attendants of Lord Shiva, please listen to my words. What I have said is bound to happen. I shall tell you the way of redemption from the curse. You will be born as demons from a great sage, and due to his power, you will secure the commanding position of the king of demons, endowed with prosperity, strength, and valorous exploits. You will rule over whole of the universe as devotees of Shiva. You will gain your former position after courting death at the hands of a manifestation of Shiva. Sut ji said, on hearing these words of the noble-souled Nārada, the two attendants of Shiva became delighted and went back to their abode joyfully. Nārada too was delighted. Reaching Kashi, the sage became contented. He saw Shiva, the Lord of Kashi, and worshipped him with very great pleasure and love. While staying at Kashi, the excellent sage became contented. He bowed to the Lord, described his glory piously, and remembered him with the flutter of love. Nārada then went to the region of Brahma, his mind being highly purified by remembering Shiva. He was eager to know further the principles of Shiva. There he bowed to Brahma with devotion and eulogized him with various prayers. With his mind riveted to Shiva, he asked him the good principles of Shiva. On hearing these words of Nārada, his own son, Brahma, the grandfather of the world, said this, O Brahmin, foremost among the celestial beings, a good matter has been inquired into by you rendering service to the worlds and desiring their benefit. At the time of great dissolution, when all the mobile and immobile objects of the world are dissolved, everything gets enveloped in darkness. There is no moon, the day and the night are not demarcated. There is no fire, no wind, no earth, and no water. There is no dharma or adharma, no sound, no touch. Smell and color are not manifest. There is no taste. The face of the quarters is not demarcated. Thus, when there is pitch darkness that cannot be pierced with a needle, and what is mentioned in the Vedas as the existent and the Brahman is alone present. People have doubts about giving it a name. That being, then after some time it is said, wished for a second. The being, having no form of its own, wished to create, in the course of its own sport, an auspicious form of its own endowed with all power, qualities and knowledge. Ishvara, though alone, then created the physical form Shakti from his body. This Shakti did not affect his body in any way. This Shakti is called by various names. That Shakti is Ambika, Prakriti, and the goddess of all. She has 8 arms. Her face wears a peculiar splendor, the splendor of 1,000 moons. Thousands of stars perpetually sparkle round her face. She is bedecked in various ornaments. She has various weapons. She is capable of various movements. Her eyes beam like a full-blown lotus. She has a brilliance which could hardly be conceived. She is the generating cause of all. She sprang up singly as Maya. In her union she manifested in various forms. The Supreme Purusa is Shiva. He has no other lord over him. He holds the Ganga on his head and the crescent moon on his forehead. He has 3 eyes. He has 5 faces. He is always joyful. He has 10 arms. He holds the trident. He is as pure and white as camphor. His body is entirely dusted with the ash. That Brahman of the form of Kala, time, together with Shakti, simultaneously created the holy center called Shivaloka. O celestial sage, the blissful, 2 deities thus sporting in the forest wished, it is said, for another being to be created. Shiva thought within himself like this: another being shall be created by me. Let him create everything, protect it, and in the end, let him dissolve it with my blessing. With the consent of Shakti, the Supreme Lord spread the liquorine essence of nectar on his left side, on the 10th limb. Thereupon a person came into being who was the most charming one in the 3 worlds, who was calm with Sattva Guna being prominent, and who appeared to be the ocean of immeasurable majesty. He bowed to Shiva and said, O Lord, give me names and assign me my task. On hearing it, Lord Shiva laughed and addressed the person thus. Shiva said, You will be famous as Visņu by name, as you are all-pervasive. You will have many other names conferring happiness on devotees. Perform penance highly conducive to the achievement of the matter in hand. Be firm in it. Saying so, the Lord bestowed on him the Vedas through his nostrils. Shiva vanished, accompanied by Shakti and his attendants. Visņu began his great penance. Even after performing the penance for 12,000 divine years, Visņu could not achieve his desire, the vision of Shiva that confers everything. He became suspicious and respectfully meditating on Shiva pondered, What shall I do now? In the meantime, the auspicious voice of Shiva was heard. Perform penance again for removing your doubts. On hearing it, Visņu performed a terrible penance for a long time following the path of meditation. That being Visņu became enlightened following the path of meditation. He was delightfully surprised. From the body of Visņu, who thus exerted himself, water currents of various sorts began to flow as a result of Shiva's Maya. O great sage, the supreme Brahman in the form of divine waters pervaded the entire void. Visņu, the weary person, went to sleep amidst the waters. He was in that blissful state of delusion for a long time. As approved in the Vedas, his name came to be established as Narayana. From Prakriti came into being the cosmic intellect, from Mahat the 3 gunas. The cosmic ego arose therefrom in 3 forms according to the 3 gunas, the essences, the 5 elements, the senses of knowledge and action too came into being then. This was chapter 4 and 5, Origin of Visņu from Rudra Samhitā, Shiv Purana.